Hello, everyone. Mike Lovelace with Must See Before You Die. And today we're going to go over a movie that's getting a lot of attention and actually a lot of positivity in the horror genre, and that is Bones and All. Just watched this a couple days ago, and I'm going to kind of give you a synopsis of the movie, a couple of the characters, and then at the end, I'm going to tell you what I really think about it at a scale of 1 to 5 or 0 to 5, what I thought it was. Again, this is just my personal opinion, and I love horror movies, so I'm going to tell you, kind of compare it to that as well. But hey, let's just dive right into this. So there's two main characters in this movie. I think her name's Maureen, Maren, or Maureen. This is played by Taylor Russell, and we got Timothy, I think Chalamet. He plays the lead, and there's another actor in here I would definitely want to talk about because I thought he stole the show. And the character's name is Sully, and this is played by Mark Rylance, Rylance. I'll say up front, the acting in this movie is incredible. It is a long movie. I think it's 2 hours and 11 minutes. It's a pretty long movie. But let's go to the synopsis of the movie first. So it starts out where this young girl is going to go, wanting to go stay with her friends, kind of like a slumber party, overnight party. And she can't go. Said her dad won't let her get out. Then you see her dad lock her in the bedroom. You're like, man, what's up with this? She sneaks out, goes to her friend's house. And this, I'm not going to give a lot of spoilers in this, but you've seen this in the actual trailer for the movie probably. And she bites her finger. She starts smelling her friend, and then she bites her finger off of her friend, and it's just dangling there. That's one of the cool scenes of the movie. But yeah, so then she runs home, knocks on the door. Dad lets her in. He says, hey, we got 3 minutes to get out of here. The police are on their way. So they take off to another town. I guess they stay there a couple of days. Then all of a sudden she wakes up one morning and her dad has left her. He's left her in this house, and he's left her some money, and he's left her a old cassette tape deck on, telling her since she was a young child what he has seen with her. And then you find out at this point, he starts telling her, hey, this started when you were 3 years old. And he starts telling stories throughout. So throughout the whole movie, she's putting on the headphones and listening to her dad. From time to time, she gets mad, she takes them off. But so then after this, her dad left her birth certificate, and it says that her mother was in Minnesota. And I believe the movie starts out, she's on the East Coast, maybe Maryland, I believe. So she starts out trying to hitchhike all the way to Minnesota to find her mom. During this process, she starts finding other eaters, is what they call them. Sully is this character I was talking about. He gives her first really good taste of eating somebody, and he kind of has an attraction to her. And he's an old guy, like it could be her grandpa probably, but she ends up leaving him. He kind of creeps her out. So she's still on her way to Minnesota. That's where she finds into, eventually love, but she finds her love in Lee, who is played by Timothy. Again, actors and actresses do an incredible job in this movie. Really, really good job of acting. So then it becomes more of a, kind of a love story, and he's teaching her along the way too about, this life of being a eater, and other eaters can smell other eaters, if that makes sense. So throughout this movie, they're meeting other people that are eaters as well, and they're telling their stories. Long story short, I'm not going to tell you the very end of this movie because it would ruin it for you, and I don't want to be the one to give you the spoiler on it. But the ending is a twist. It's a good ending, I think, for a movie. It's not your typical ending of a movie. Now I'm going to tell you my opinion on the horror part of this. Very little, other than seeing the blood on their chest and their face, you don't really see a lot of gore in it. Not a lot of blood. There is blood, of course, but it's not like gory. It's not a good example is Walking Dead is much gorier than this, much more graphic than this. There is the character Lee. If you got kids and stuff, I'm just trying to tell you ahead of time. There's not a whole lot of nudity. In fact, I don't know that there is any nudity. There is a scene though where there's the main character Lee is kind of swaying another guy into some homosexual activities, and they're having sex, and then he ends up killing the guy off. That's a spoiler. Sorry about that, but just wanted to kind of let you know that ahead of time if you got kids or something like that in the background around. There is that one scene, but not a lot of nudity, not a lot of love making or anything like that in it. It truly is a love story. In my personal opinion, I think it's way more of a love story than it is a horror flick. Again, I've seen movies that are, the whole thought of somebody eating somebody else is horrific, and yeah, that puts it in the genre of horror. But it is a different type horror flick. Um, I would probably lean more towards a chick flick than I would a horror flick. So my overall final score on this would be 3.5, and three is average. It is a good movie. It is a very slow burn. It takes a while for things to get going, and it never really is like a fast paced horror flick, like somebody running through the woods and somebody coming after them. That never happens in the movie. So, but I will give it a 3.5 because I think, like I said before, the actors and actresses do an incredible job. This is a plus for filming. Um, and it's not a C. It doesn't look cheap on the screen, is what I'm trying to say. What do you think? What do you guys think? Have you seen this yet? Please tell us your comments here at Must See Before You Die in the comment section here. Still 3.5 out of 5. It's above average in my opinion, but it is a very long movie. If you got a significant other or partner that's not into horror movies, they would probably like this because it's not that scary. No jump scares or anything like that. The whole thing. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, comment below. You have a good one. This is Mike with Must See Before You Die.